Mr. Speaker, today when we collect our tax revenues, it can't even satisfy debt servicing and then wages and salaries. That is the true state of the Ghanaian economy. Mr. Speaker, wallahi, Mr. Speaker, wallahi. Wallahi, Mr. Speaker, wallahi. The people of Ghana are suffering. Mr. Speaker, Nina Fedi, the people of Ghana, they are suffering, Mr. Speaker. I'm saying it, that the people of Ghana are suffering. Today, how families would even put 3 square meals on the table, it's a major issue. And as members of parliament, Mr. Speaker, I think that we should show concern, we should show empathy. I just came from the constituency. Everywhere you go, even in the north, the cliche is that wahala, 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 wahala. But Mr. Speaker, we are not here by accident. We are here because the economic management team, led by Dr. Bawumia, has demonstrated a clear sense of incompetence. That is the truth, Mr. Speaker. If you look at the figures, we cautioned them. We told them about borrowing. We told them about the deficit. They insisted that they knew better. I think that the time has come for the president to consider doing the noble thing by dissolving the economic management team and getting a competent team to manage this economy. Mr. Speaker, having dealt with the 2021 budget, let me now attend to the 2022 budget. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, one would have thought that this government would change course. But when you look at the 2022 budget, it is even worse than the 2021 budget. And I will demonstrate why I say that this 2022 budget cannot be described as an Ajenkwa budget. Mr. Speaker, they are seeking to raise tax revenue from 55 billion to 80 billion. What it means is that they want to increase our tax base by 45%. In fact, total revenue is estimated at 100 billion. How are they going to achieve that? Mr. Speaker, I hold here in my hands the fees and charges for specified ministries, departments, and agencies. This bulky document that you see, this bulky document contains all those agencies. The Minister of Finance says that this year alone, all of them are going to increase their charges by a minimum of 15%. That's what he's proposing. A minimum of 15%. So every government service that you try to assess, you should be prepared to pay an additional 15% on what you are paying. Mr. Speaker, and like the ranking member said, even when you've lost your relative and you want to access mortuary services, this government wants you to pay additional 15%. That is how insensitive and cruel the Akufo-Addo government has become. Mr. Speaker, as if that is not enough, after claiming credit for the benchmark values, getting the people of Abosokai to congratulate the vice president, holding a media engagement in 2019 and telling us that he has done so well, because when you lower the benchmark revenues, throughput will increase, which will account for the revenue shortfalls. The vice president and his economic management team, 2 years after that project, they are making a U-turn to withdraw all those benchmark revenues. And have the list here, almost all the vehicles that we import will be affected. So if you were to import a vehicle for your farm, be prepared to pay an additional money on that vehicle. So this issue that you are withdrawing it because of so-called production capacity is a complete misinformation to the Ghanaian people. Mr. Speaker, putting that aside, after promising that they will move away from taxation to production, I've already given you all the taxes they brought on board. They are bringing what they call the electronic levy. What does it mean? I want to give a clear critical example. If I were to buy this tablet, for say 2,000, and I take my invoice, the cost of the item will be on it, including a 17.5% VAT. Now, if I decide that I want to pay the cost, including the VAT that I'm paying to government with my mobile money. This government wants to tax that tax that I'm paying to that government, 1.75%. That is the stark reality. In any country where you pay tax on tax, that is referred to as a regressive tax. That is why I wish to associate myself in its entirety and 100% with the venerable minority leader, the Honorable Harun Idrisu, that in this tax, in this form, and in this shape, the minority will not be part of it today, tomorrow, and the day after. Mr. Speaker, the minority leader statement is a powerful statement.
Yes.
And I want to plead with the members on the other side. For the first time in my life, I want to beg you, your constituents are watching you. Please, look at how your people are suffering. The people of KJT are calling on you. The people of Suame are calling on you. That for the first time, Mr. Speaker, you rightly said that this parliament is a new parliament. Let us put the politics aside. Let us be patriotic. Let us show empathy and reject days of noxious nuisance ill-evitas. Mr. Speaker, it's even an insult unto us to decide that you tax our Momo and tell us that it is innovative. What is innovative about taxing mobile money? What is innovative about taxing mobile money? Mr. Speaker, it is clear that the vice president is becoming somebody you cannot trust. He was against Momo yesterday, today he is for it. He was against taxation, today he was for it. He was in favor for road tolls, today he is against it. Every other benchmark, he was for benchmark, today he is against it. So Dr. Bawumia, what do you stand for? That is the question. Mr. Speaker, the last point is the revenue itself. Where is this 100 billion going? They've told us that we should pay the tax so that they will use it for critical infrastructure. Mr. Speaker, let me put it on record that that is false, and it's in the budget. We are paying compensation, 35.8 billion. Interest payment, 37.4 billion. Amortization, 7.9 billion. Statutory payments, 31 billion. When you add all this together, that total revenue cannot even satisfy this amount. So what is left for so-called capital expenditure? It means that we have to borrow another 37 billion, which will still increase our public debt. Mr. Speaker, on this note, I want to end on a very sober way. I do not want to do politics at all. I just want to plead with my colleagues that please join us and let us say no to this mobile money tax because it is regressive. On that note, Mr. Speaker, let me say that climate change continues to be a major issue. Climate change continues to be a major issue, and all of us must pay attention to that. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.